Is the Diego hair on the line this weekend? Let's find out.
Step in the ring, feel the adrenaline rush, throwing fists and kicks, the pain we can't hush. And then they find us, we're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon like a warrior I stand, slaying blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
And buenos noches, mi amigos. Bienvenidos to the Golden Octagon. I'm just kidding. I don't speak Spanish that well. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. And yeah, we appreciate you guys for stopping by here tonight. This weekend, we've got UFC Noche at the Sphere. I'm going to be heading that way Friday morning, flying into Vegas for weigh-ins and all that. I'm going to vlog the whole thing. So if you're interested to see how Noche UFC at the Sphere turns out, I'm going to try to vlog the whole thing. So stay tuned here on the channel. Probably midway through next week, I'll have a vlog up or something like that. If you guys care to watch that, yeah. But we got some fights this weekend to talk about. A love letter to Mexico, in the words of Dana White, or his love letter to Mexico. We have a fun fight card, to say the least. But before we do all that, D Rose, we got to recap this past weekend's UFC fight cards, UFC Vegas 97. I got clean swept, so I got to eat 3 beans. Not looking forward to that, dude. I'm already burping. We got a little bit of UFC news and fight announcements to go over. Not too much, but then, as I said, we got UFC Noche, UFC 306, Sean Omalley versus Merab Dvalishvili. Our preview and our picks. I have a couple bets. I have one that I'm going to make as soon as we get props opened up. I'll share that with you guys, and then at the end of the show, I already have a $100 bet on this. Odds have changed a little bit, so it kind of fits just right into the plus minus play of the week. I know D Rose ain't putting $100 on it. He might bet it, but he ain't putting $100 on it. Nah. So with that being said, we might be safe this week with that one. At least I hope so. But before we do all that, D Rose, let's shout out the chat real quick, and then I'll ask you how you've been over the past week. We got Austin in here. What's up, everyone? Happy Golden Wednesdays indeed. Appreciate you stopping by here tonight, Austin. And we got Tim in here. What's up, boys? Appreciate you stopping by here tonight. Tim convinced me not to put 200 on Omalley tonight. Well, Tim, I don't know if I'm going to be the one to convince you not to do that. Maybe D Rose will convince you not to do that. Yeah, that's basically what happened to me as well last week, Dave. I didn't have too much on the Trevor Peak fight, but yeah, I didn't feel great about that fight, to be honest. And then we got Dave Fish for Days also dropping the $10 in here, well, just to take care of the demonetization reimbursement. Now, I appreciate you, Dave. You are truly too kind, my guy. We got
no opportunity for ads here this week.
We got Lush Laveda here. Another Golden Wednesday with the boys. Appreciate you stopping by here tonight, Lush. Good to see you back in here, my guy. Hopefully everything is going well with you. Hopefully you're able to get off work a little bit to watch some fights this weekend, my guy. And Austin saying good to see you, Lush. So with that being said, let's kind of recap. I guess, how have you been over this past weekend, D Rose? How would you do betting wise and all that, and then we'll get into the actual recap of this past weekend's fights.
Yeah, I actually didn't do too bad betting wise. I think I sent you one of the bet slips from the fights on Saturday. I didn't go too heavy on a lot of the fights because I didn't have a lot of good gut feelings on a lot of them, but I had a little 3-leg decision parlay. That ended up cashing out pretty good for me. So pretty good there, of course. Hey, I had the 3 beans last week, be able to flip the odds on that and serve them right back to you. Hey, I know I'm not going to have to worry about potentially throwing back up my dinner I just finished up before coming out here. So things been great over there as well. And health's been good. My thumb's healed up and everything now since I almost chopped it off the other day. And everything's good over here. How's everything been with you?
That's what's up. Well, unlike you, I was invested on last weekend's card, man. I was really high on Vanessa Demopoulos, and we'll talk about it in a second. But as far as my bets, I did hit my biggest bet, so I guess I did a little bit better than break even. It was this $50 4-leg parlay, $50 at plus, I think 504. I won 302. So basically broke even on the night because I was invested heavily in Vanessa Demopoulos. So I can't be too upset, but this weekend already invested pretty early as I showed you right before the podcast. Already dropped a big one. I have already put that on my Instagram earlier in the week, so a few of you already probably know what that is. But yeah, overall, not doing too bad. I'm excited to go to Vegas this weekend, and then I got vacation next weekend, dude. So going to Vegas this Friday, coming back Sunday. It's going to be back here, all of next week, and then I'm going to Jamaica next Sunday, dude. So I'm going to be stoked for some relaxation.
Nice.
Man. I'm ready for it, dude. I am ready. So with that being said, let's kind of get into the show, D Rose. Our UFC Vegas 97 recap. So let me pull up the recap. It was Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns was the main event. And yeah, dude, what else do we even say, dude? Sean Brady clearly wins, and dude, it's like Sean Brady looked really good the entire time, and at the end of the fight, dude, he kind of showed that he had plenty more gas. Picked up Gilbert Burns and was kind of just tossing him around there, like in the 5th round. To me, it was a clear, easy decision for Sean Brady. But I guess me and you kind of predicted both that Sean Brady would win. I thought he would probably get the sub at some point, and I think maybe just Gilbert Burns just really hard to take down for the most part, at least up against the fence. He's like really hard to take down. But that 5th round, Sean Brady, as I said, just picking him up and just kind of throwing him around. Could he have got the sub? I don't know, but easy Sean Brady decision win. Yeah, good to see new contenders rising and doing well. Aside from that, Natalia Silva, man, I just have a few pictures from the fight, and it just went exactly like the entire fight, though. I mean, it was just like Natalia Silva just at range, just basically kept kicking Andrade, and Andrade would press her back a little bit, maybe land 1 or 2 punches like up against the fence, but it was almost like Natalia Silva, Andrade's power did not affect Natalia Silva at all. And you see Andrade looks like she's in love right there after she just got her ass beat by Natalia Silva. She's all bloodied up and just like looking at her like, wow. Natalia Silva is for sure got to be up one of the next contenders for this division fighting this weekend. 125 pounds, dude. She is so good, and dude, I don't know if anyone's going to beat this girl. She's fucking fantastic, dude. I would like to see her in maybe 1 5-round fight. If not Manon Fuhr fighting for the title next, then give me Manon Fuhr versus Natalia Silva, dude. I would love, dude. That would be a fantastic fight. I would love that fight. And then the feature fight of the night, Steve Garcia versus Kyle Nelson, dude. So Kyle Nelson, I guess, did the one thing I didn't expect him to and took down Steve Garcia and was on his back for the first few minutes of the fight. And then Steve Garcia just kind of reverses position up against the fence, kind of like this position, pins him up against the fence and is just dropping fucking elbows on him, dude. Just mollywopping Kyle Nelson. And Kyle Nelson just kind of falls over. And Steve Garcia gets another first-round kill, dude. That's 5 first-round kills in a row for Mean Machine Steve Garcia, dude. Y'all better quit playing around with Steve Garcia down at 145, dude. That guy is nothing to mess around with down at 145. The Cody Durden Matt Schnell was next on the card, dude, and I don't have too many pictures from the actual fight itself, only the finish, but man, dude, that was fun as shit. That first round, dude, I was like, dude, either one of these dudes could get finished right now. One, this is not going to decision, and I needed Cody Durden under 1.5 in my parlay. So when Cody Durden did not knock out Matt Schnell in that first round, I was like, fuck, dude, this is going to be an interesting 2.5 minutes to this fight. And then Cody Durden comes out, swings at Matt Schnell a few times, and then Matt Schnell shoots on Cody Durden. And at that point, Cody Durden wraps up the Dars, the Anaconda, whichever one it is. And, you know, one of my favorite things that happens in MMA, the old two-handed tap from Danger Matt Schnell. You know, if you give someone a two-handed tap, dude, you are basically required to put your gloves in the middle of the octagon and retire after, dude. He was like, dude, he was just giving the two-handed tap. But shout out Cody Durden, dude, showing that he is ever improving, dude, and he is not losing unless he's like fighting one of the top guys up at fucking 125 right now. I said it, I think 2 Cody Durden fights ago. I am now a Cody Durden fan, dude. I am a believer, and then he goes on to lose his next 2. But I stuck with it. I didn't fall off the Cody Durden train. I'm on that shit. Shout out Cody Durden for getting that win over Matt Schnell. And then I don't have any more pictures, but probably one of my favorite quotes of the night happened during this fight. Trevor Peek versus Anal Asmos, or Yanal Ashmos, dude, the one that really lost me pick champ this week. And truly, I don't want to say it was a robbery because it was a competitive fight, dude. But if you're scoring that control over the damage that Trevor Peek was throwing as a judge, then as a judge, I don't like you as a judge. And for all I care, you can eat microwave dog shit for dinner for the next 2 weeks if you judged Yanal Ashmos to win that fight. So 2 of you judges, yeah, you can eat microwave dog shit for dinner for all I care. And my favorite quote from the night was by Dominic Cruz. God, do I hate Dominic Cruz as a commentator, dude. He is the most ridiculous guy, and he will argue. He will clearly be wrong and will be arguing it, dude. One of my favorite things to ever happen was him. It was the Andrade versus Rose fight, and Andrade just tried to pick Rose up, and so Rose has like a Kimura lock on Andrade, and she and Cruz is like, she can't pick her up yet. Nope, not yet. And then Andrade just picks her up and slams her on her head and just knocks her out. I'm like, yeah, shout out Dominic Cruz, you fucking idiot. So first of all, I cannot stand him as a fucking commentator because he's wrong all the time and will just argue. But he had a quote this past weekend that made me laugh. He said, Trevor Peek fights like he just drank 5 Mellow Yellows. The most random soda Mellow yellow, dude.
Yeah, nah, you know what he meant.
Dude, absolutely fucking nuts. Anyway, prelims, Chris Padilla gets the nasty elbow knockout over fucking Rongju, dude. His eye swelled up, called off immediately by the doctor. Yeah, his eye might have some serious issues, dude. We'll find out. Isaac Bulgarian busts a whole bunch of my fucking parlays by not going under 1.5 rounds, dude. Fucking FanDuel had this shit set at a half a round, and I just needed it to go under 1.5 rounds. And Isaac Bulgarian gets the late second round submission over the absolute trash can that Brandon Marodi is, dude, or Marat, whatever his fucking name is, dude. Andre Lima cheats again, grabs the cage, and but aside from that, dude, he's a good fighter, dude. He has showed his grappling. He's got a gas tank to last all three, dude. I'm gonna start betting on him just because he's a cheater and he's getting away with it. So it is what it is, dude. Gabriel Santos Yiza, that win is pretty much exactly how I thought it was. And another cheat that happened, dude. Jacqueline Amorim versus Vanessa Demopoulos. A clear cheat happened there. Jacqueline Amorim, got her fingers inside, the glove from Vanessa Demopoulos. She's like, hey, she's got my glove. She's got my glove. Like mid change of a position. I get that she cheated, but at the same time, Vanessa, you can't stop fighting. Like I understand that she's cheating and you're trying to let the ref know, but you still have to defend yourself because you got put in the arm bar like a half a second later because you were worried more about her fingers in your glove than defending the arm bar. So do I feel bad? No. But I feel dumb because I was very invested on Vanessa Demopoulos this weekend by split decision, and it burned me because it didn't even get close to there. So what can you say? Dylan Budka, Andre Petrovsky. Did you see Dylan Budka on the scale, dude?
No, I did not.
Dude, watch this. No sound, but just like watch it. Dude, this is him just trying to stand there still, dude.
Wow.
Dude, they
how did no one stop this? Like,
dude, they had to come grab him off the scale because he couldn't fucking move, dude. And they let the fight go on, dude. So that was another one in the fucking pick champ, dude, that I was like, dude, I'm fucked this weekend. I knew I was fucked this weekend. I was like, God damn it, dude. I have no goddamn shot this weekend. So yeah. And then the first fight of the night was Ziggy Montes Ramasca versus Nathan Fletcher. And yeah, Ziggy had a good first round, but kind of got grappled in the second round and had, I don't want to say nothing left in the tank, but Nathan Fletcher just took him down with ease, kind of fucking mounted in him and just submitted him from there. So, and I don't know, dude. It's a kind of a low level fight. This is their first fight in the UFC. What can you really say there? Anything that I missed that you would like to talk about from this past weekend before I unfortunately have to eat these fucking beans?
Yeah, I mean, you summed up all the fights, so I'm not going to talk about all of them, just the ones that I was really most interested in. Yeah, Sean Brady, I thought that he, really has showed a lot of improvements since that Bilal fight. And he had even said, in the press conference this past week, the post-fight press conference, that, in the Bilal fight, he kind of even called himself quitting in that fight, which I thought was pretty interesting comments that, yeah, he had kind of admitted that he had quit when Bilal was basically putting the pressure on him and he got tired. And yeah, he wants to make sure that he can correct that. And for him to be able to turn the pace up on Gilbert, as you said there in that fifth round, and be able to really apply the pressure to use his wrestling the way he did. But I really did like his striking in the fight as well. I mean, his boxing looked really clean for the most part. I mean, and Gilbert was landing his shots here and there, but Brady, for the most part, did not take too many big shots as well. So I thought his defense was on point. Cardio, wrestling, yeah, I thought everything was on point for him. So really good win for him. I don't think the Ian Gary fight's a bad call out. Don't think he's going to get that fight, but Yeah, dude, welterweight, it's Sean Brady, Ian Gary, Jack Della Maddalena, Shavkat, Michael Morales. Like, there's all these
MVPs
like
there
young,
too, dude.
but I mean, just as far as like the young up and comers, like guys who are probably
Mhm.
going to be around for the next, at least as long as everything kind of stays well for them health wise and everything. These guys are going to be around the next 5, 6, 7 years. Kind of dominating the division and kind of passing it around. And you're really seeing this surge of young talent. And Sean Brady's a part of that, and he's going to make a tough fight for anybody in the top of the welterweight division. And then moving on to Natalia Silva, just really good performance from her. I thought it was a really fun fight because they're in the first round, man. I'm not going to lie. As someone who bet Natalia Silva by decision, Andrade just scared me there for a little bit, the way that she was walking forward, because, man, there was a couple of times where she ended up getting Natalia Silva kind of pinned up against the fence, and man, Andrade started putting on some pressure and started really hitting her with hitting Natalia Silva with some big shots. But once Natalia Silva realized that she could land those kind of side body kicks and kind of push Andrade off of her if she wanted to, that's really when she kind of started taking over in the fight, used her kicks well, just controlled the range. And yeah, dude, she's going to be a problem for anybody at flyweight. As you said, I think she's ready for the top of the division now. I mean, I think the Manon fight might be too big of a jump.
I don't think that's going to happen because I think she's going to wait for the title next. But dude, I would love to see her against anyone in the top 5, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she could go up against a Macy Barber or Aaron Blanchfield or even Rose, or she could fight any of them, and I think it would be a super fun fight, man. Natalia Silva, yeah, I agree with you. She's ready to fight for a number 1 contender fight now. It feels like so. Excited to see her, dude. Mean Machine, that dude is an absolute animal, man. Yeah, and I'll talk about this one, and this will be the last fight because this is honestly, I think he's the most interesting person to me on this whole card because, I mean, he was finishing guys. I mean, he finished Chase Hooper, finished Sung Woo Choi. He's finishing guys who, have, I don't want to say reputations of getting finished, but you could say guys that aren't quite at that level. I mean, Kyle Nelson has, and I think we both had even kind of said it to a certain extent, a guy who we had continuously doubted, and he put together a nice little win streak there. And for Steve Garcia to go in there, just absolutely run him over, dude, he is going to be a problem at 145. I mean, the dude's just nonstop pressure. I mean, even when he had Kyle Nelson on the ground, dude, like even before he got him up against the fence, it is just all action, just straightforward. I mean, just throwing absolute hellacious elbows on the ground. Good ground and pound. I mean, dude, he's super fun to watch. Like, I don't care when, where, or how. Whenever Steve Garcia is fighting, dude, I'm not missing it. Like, I will not miss a Steve Garcia fight, dude, because that dude is absolute action all the time. I love watching him fight. And dude, just to come out to Sung Woo Choi, what, 2.5 months ago, or no, it was in July. What, I think it was like July 20th. They said he fought or something like that, and to turn around and get another first round finish. I mean, this dude's an absolute machine, man. So he's the mean machine for a reason. So, but yeah, I don't want to harper the points on the card, but those are the most interesting points to me.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, let's get into some being eaten. Me and D-Rose did have 3 different picks on the card this past week, or we had 6 different picks. Ryan Spann versus OSP fell out, so we had 5 different picks. So out of those 5, D-Rose picked 3 different fights, which were Dylan Budka versus Andre Petrovsky, where I went Dylan Budka, D-Rose went Andre Petrovsky. Keep in mind, this was Wednesday before the weigh-in, so I obviously didn't know he was going to look like shit on the scale. Dos Santos versus Lima, where I went Felipe Daytona, and D-Rose went Andre Lima. And the last fight was Trevor Peek versus Yanel Ashmos, which went to a split decision where, I picked Trevor Peek and D-Rose went Yanel Ashmos. So D-Rose is and new pick champ this week. So I just have Mexico back there. Not pick champ this week. Hopefully I can get that to stay up because kind of holds that up there from falling down.
Yes, sir.
But not only that, I've got Bean Boozled this week, but not just 2 beans as I would eat if if I just lost the pick champ, I got clean swept this week. So 3 beans for me. So with that being said, I'm full screen myself. God, dude, I'm not looking forward to this. I haven't been 3 beaned in a while, dude.
Come on, man. Look.
Dude, there's a
And
lot.
look,
I dumped out way too many there. Look how many beans I dumped out.
You can go ahead and eat all of them since you already got them out.
You
can go ahead.
Dude, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out the glorious red one because you know that's either going to be pomegranate or
look at him. Look at him. Look at this bean gate. What are we doing?
Or, let's do what's this one, D Rose? The fucking Tutti Frutti. Or birthday cake or dirty dishwater. That should be fun. And then what's the last one? What's another terrible one? Dude, I could look. I just want you to know that I could easily do this blue one, but I'm gonna put it back in my box and save that for
because you know what that is, man.
Yeah.
You've had that enough. Come on.
And we'll do the brown one. That's liver and onions or cappuccino, dude. So the most 3 infamous ones that I've had to eat here on the channel, dude. Yeah,
dude,
not
I don't know.
To these
fish,
dude.
that dead fish is
dude.
for me.
I don't want to eat that one. There's a lot of orange ones in that box, and I'm avoiding the orange ones.
Yeah, you better. But they're creepy. Right. I'm telling you.
All right, dude. So number 1, is this red one, which I believe it is pomegranate or bandage. Well, actually, I'm just going to let you know I've had this. How many times have I ate this one now, D Rose? And it's been bandage every time. It's not been pomegranate even once. Like, let me put these down so I can get this bag ready because shout out Target.
That's your old reliable, old favorite, the red one
Target
right there.
Bag. All right, here we go. God, dude.
Oh gosh, here we go. Pomegranate. oh,
dude, can it be fucking? I was tricking myself right there because I was like, dude, this is gonna be pomegranate. I've had nothing but bandage. It can't be all bandage. Oh, god damn it, dude.
I was like pomegranate or bandage, and
dude,
like,
I chewed that one too many times. I chewed that one too many times because I convinced myself it was fucking pomegranate.
Bro, see, like that's because I'm telling you, dude, I do the same thing in my head because I'm trying not to taste it. And I'm like, please let it be the good one, please. And then it's just all
dude. I don't know which one this is. This is one of 4: dirty dishwater, birthday cake, or stinky socks, Tutti Frutti. I'm hoping it's Tutti Frutti because that's actually one of my favorite jelly bean flavors as I had as a kid I remember from a kid, dude. But dude, dirty dishwater was fucking terrible too. So
dude, yeah, I between dead fish and dirty dishwater, I don't know, dead fish and maybe booger. Yeah, I think probably boogers actually.
All right, here we go. Come on,
dirty dishwater is pretty bad.
Come on, Tutti Frutti.
You need some dishwater to wash that bandage down with.
I think that one's a good one, dude.
Oh no,
it doesn't taste bad.
You needed some dirty dishwater to wash that down with, man. That's not right.
I don't know, dude. That doesn't taste like I remember it as a kid though. Like I remember it being like good and sweet. That's kind of like just not awful. Just not awful like the other one.
like that's what I mean. Like even the good beans do not taste good. Like they don't taste good. They just don't taste bad.
I probably have the flavor of the of the bandage in my mouth still too. So the last one, the brown one, D Rose. This has been liver and onions, I think, every time as well. I don't know if I've gotten cappuccino even once. I think it's just been liver and onions, which is basically Salisbury steak flavored, which I cannot stand, to be honest. So,
all reliable banquet dinners, baby.
Exactly.
Those are my shit back in the day.
Here we go. Be number 3 for the clean sweep. Hope you're happy, dearest. I'm getting your ass back this week, man.
Hell no.
Mm-mm.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Good old reliable banquet dinners. It takes him back to his... Oh! Oh! I heard it drop. Oh!
Dude, it's just not... Dude, it's like...
Oh!
It's like something that's Dude, it's not... Dude, it's like you psychopaths that eat like fucking... one of those ice cream fucking flavors that's like macaroni and cheese. I'm like, dude, no. It's like that texture should not have that flavor, and it's really fucking me up, dude. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I the different flavored ice cream and stuff like the macaroni and cheese or like fried chicken or whatever. Yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement with you there. But yeah, that's rough, man. Like I said, I used to crush some banquet dinner Salisbury steak,
but it's different because it's like you're expecting to eat meat, dude. You don't chew up a jelly bean and expect that flavor to be in your mouth. You're like, what's happened? Like the flavor's not that bad. I spit it out, and then it's the after flavor of what I just had. Dude, I can't. It's bad. I can't.
Hey, you damn right I am, Dave. Because it's not me this time. It's not me.
Seen the comments, dude. This should be a fucking field day right here.
Yeah,
all right, so let me see what you guys.
So that's why I'm happy.
Oh, let's see. Anyway, yeah, let me see what you guys had to say. Anyway, so appreciate you also new work schedule kicking my ass. I'm sorry to hear that, Lush. Matt, how's the dog doing? He is doing much better. My girlfriend not happy with him. She says I'm spoiling him too much, but I just want him to be all right for the most part. I think I got the results back at like and everything. The vet refuses to answer me, like the doctor, so I had to copied all the results and put it in the chat GPT, and it just basically said your dog basically experiencing a fucking UTI, so like a urinary tract thing, so it needs to get some cranberry supplements, which I had already gotten for him a few days ago. So I had already been kind of giving it to him, and he had already been kind of improving a little bit. So I believe he's good to go now, just kind of babying him still. But I think he had a UTI over the past week or so. But, glad he's all right now. My hopes aren't very high for the spirit card. I'm sorry to hear that. Who's your daddy? Sick fight. All right. We got Howie in here. What's going on? Or what's I can't wait to see the Lopes fight. Mostly, we got Evan saying Cruz also said McGregor was trying to gas out. No, I think that was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan.
No,
right?
it was not. No, it was not.
No?
It was Dominic Cruz, because that was the moment for me. Yes, Evan, you are 100% correct. I remember Habib is raining down punches on McGregor in the second round after he had knocked him down. And yeah, Dominic Cruz had the audacity to say he's trying to gas him out. And Joe Rogan says, how? Like, he's smashing him. How is he trying to gas him out? Like no, Habib was just smashing him. Like, no, that for me, I'm with Evan. That's the number one thing that Dominic Cruz did where I'm like, this dude's an idiot.
Landon Rogan said no, Khabib was just holding him down. Yeah. So you're right. That's hilarious. I don't understand where that Nathan Fletcher was there in tough. Yeah, me either, Dave. Me either, Dave. And every time I hear Mean Machine, I think of Adam Sandler. Puke incoming. Oh no, the pomegranate jelly, dude. That shit don't exist. Oh, he even.
I had the pomegranate. Yeah, I had the pomegranate.
Well, it didn't exist in my box.
I will say the pomegranate one. It probably is the best flavored one. Unfortunately, you have not had that one, but it is probably the best flavored one.
We got Lesh saying I got to run work early tomorrow. I'll watch later. Stay safe on your trip, man. I appreciate it, Lesh. Thank you for stopping by here tonight, my guy. And
appreciate you stopping by, Lesh.
Yeah, and if you watch this backlash, just do me a favor and just leave us a comment down there and just let us know what your best play is for this card this week. Lush, I'll greatly appreciate that because I'll be going to Vegas and Lush is my guy. D-Rose, I have to blow my nose real quick because I don't know. I just feel a bunch of stuff in my nose now. So I'm going to pull up the fights, the fight news and announcements that we have ready or that we have from this past weekend. Smash a like also. I appreciate it. Who's Your Daddy? Yeah, do what Who's Your Daddy says. Hit that like button for your boys if y'all don't mind. So let me share my screen and I'll bring up he got beaten and then dude, I might because I did hack up something, dude. Yeah,
you probably
so
got a little dinner in there too.
so D-Rose, this one is rescheduled. It looks like they're adamant about putting this fight back together. UFC 307 October 5th. I'll let you talk about this one for just a moment while I go get a tissue and blow my nose.
Yeah, as Matt goes and blows the jelly beans and Chick-fil-A waffle fries at his nose. Yeah, OSP and Ryan Spann. I mean, this is a hell of a fight that you left me here to talk about. I mean, why on God's green earth are they rebooking this fight? I don't know. And the dumb part is Ryan Spann is going to be every bit of what a minus 300 or something favorite, probably minus 270 at least. And I might be crazy enough to actually put some money on OSP. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think I might be crazy enough to actually put some money on OSP because I've won plenty of money fading Ryan Spann. Dude is notorious for going out there, and if he can't get you out of there in the first round, he gasses or he gets clipped himself. So if they're adamant about rebooking the fight, sure, but I don't really care about it.
Great breakdown, D-Rose. I'm glad you like the hell of a fight you leave me on. Anyway, so that was the first one. The next one we have is Bruno Silva versus Ismail Nurgadayev. This is one of the dudes that beat someone. I don't know, D-Rose. Maybe one of the dudes that fought Jauregui, maybe? I don't know. Let me see if I can fucking Google him real quick. But do you care about this guy at all, fighting Bruno Silva?
Yeah, I'm not too I'm not too fond of him, so I can't say whether I am or am not excited, but yeah, Bruno Silva, did he just make the trip over to Turkey and all of a sudden just decide to start growing out his hair, or did he have this hair all along? But I mean, my bald brother, I mean, what's going on here? I mean, he's slowly fading away from not even resembling the great one over here anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, Bruno Silva, what are you doing with the hair, man? You gotta come home with the rest of us, as Sugar Ray likes to let us know that I do every week.
Yeah. Yeah, D-Rose. It looks like this dude used to be in the UFC around the 2019 time frame. He won one, lost one, lost one, and then got cut. So he fucking lost to Sean Brady and then got cut by the UFC, and then he's been fighting in Brave FC. So yeah, but he is 23-7 overall. So maybe Bruno, who knows? Who knows? We'll see what this dude looks like coming back to the UFC. Moving on to the next one. AJ Cunningham is out, so the absolute punching bag is no more. So Morgan Charrier now has an actual opponent, that is Gabriel Fly Miranda. That's going to be UFC Paris, September 28th. Rose, you care about that one at all?
Yeah, that should be a good fight. Morgan Charrier looking to come back off that Chepe loss, which is a really good, really close fight. And but yeah, he's super talented, and yeah, going home to Paris as well. Yeah, he should get a pretty good reaction when he comes out.
I agree. I know you're going to be a fan of this one. Two of your favorite guys, the guys that you've been riding with the longest. You're always a Tim Means fan, and you always tell us how tough Court McGee is. So I'll just let you talk about this one for just a moment.
Yeah. I mean, Court McGee's always been tougher than a $2 steak, man. I mean, he's basic, but basic boxing, good wrestling, iron chin. I mean, he did get flatlined by Matt Brown, but that is the immortal. I mean, and that dude, that dude can hurt a lot of people. I mean, Matt Brown can put a lot of people out. So no shame in Court McGee's game there. And Tim Means, he's just got that old kind of dog in him, man. Just goes in there, just looking for a scrap. I always go back to kind of like that fight he had with Nico Price, just where they just went in there and they were both fired up and in each other's face, but they were just excited to fight. And they both just stood in there and just bit down in their mouthpiece and just absolutely went for it. And yeah, that's what Tim Means has always been about. So it's always been a super fun fight. And yeah, that should be a solid fight. And honestly, it's really good matchmaking just because they're both kind of at the same point in their career where old vets fighting old vets. Yeah, you can't be mad at that, and it should still be a pretty good fight.
Hell yeah. And Dave's saying the GIF in the comments. I can't see any GIFs here, so I'm not sure. And we got Revenant popping in here. Golden, awesome to catch you live. Hope all is well. I have an 11-legger from the past 3 events, plus 43, 44. Last 3 to close out is Manuel Torres, Rosas minus 520, and Lopes 162. Good luck, brother. I am with you on all of those. I don't know if D Rose is, but I am with you, and I hope you cash that 43-1 parlay. My God, that's absolutely nuts. Good luck. Good luck, Revenant. And then Sugar Ray says, welcome home, D-Rose. All right. So D-Rose excited for Tim Dirty Bird Means taking on Court McGee. We got a fun one here. We got Ricky Tercios taking on Bernardo Sopai, UFC Vegas 100, November 9th. So this is a birthday gift to me on November 9th. D-Rose, what's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, this should be a pretty solid fight. And Ricky Tercios, we make fun of his awkward fight style, but he is a tough fighter. No pun intended there, but good wrestling, good chin, just has a nonstop motor, doesn't quit. So yeah, he's tough.
Don't forget those fucking Gracie foot stomps too, dude. Those are lethal.
Yeah, seriously, and not like the foot stomps like Kamaru Usman did, like against Jorge Masvidal against the cage, like him standing out in the middle of the octagon and him closing distance is a screaming foot stomp, like he's on the fucking Flintstones starting his car or something, like it's crazy. But it's absolutely hilarious. It looks like you're watching UFC 1. It just looks absolutely nuts watching him do that. But Bernardo Sopai, I mean, he's a good fighter too. And he was giving Vinicius Oliveira all he could handle, and he took that fight on short notice before. Unfortunately, he was on the wrong end of what was the knockout of the year before Max Holloway came in. But yeah, he put up a good fight in that short notice, and I think he might even be the favorite going into this fight. Yeah, I think he's a good fighter, and I think this is a good matchup.
Yeah, he should be the favorite, in my opinion. But we'll see. We got the last one here, D-Rose. Not too much news this week. We got the return of Victor Henry, and we got Charles Jourdain in his first fight down at bantamweight. This is going to be taking place in UFC Edmonton. So both fighters, I believe, are I'm not sure Victor Henry might be from Canada. I don't know. He could possibly be, but Charles Jourdain is definitely from Canada. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this fight right here?
That should be a good fight. And like you said, Charles Jourdain's his bantamweight debut is going to be interesting to see. I mean, he did, and I guess just muscle mass wise, he just looked significantly smaller than Gene Silva in that last fight. And I do think that was kind of a realization for him, because when he was trying to take Gene Silva down, I mean, it was he just had no chance. Gene Silva was just way bigger than him, was able to kind of throw him around. And yeah, if he can comfortably make the weight, he still has good speed. Victor Henry's a tough fighter as well. Looked like he just got out of a Head and Shoulders commercial.
Dude, does he not have the same face as like Merab? If you just took his nose and pushed it to the fucking left, dude, does he not have the same face as Merab Dvalishvili? I feel like it's the same face.
I'm not
Just
quite
push
seeing.
his nose like over this way.
Nah, because I feel like Merab's eyes might be a little bit more slanted. Yeah, I feel like his eyes might be a little more slanted. But yeah, but Victor Henry also looked like he just came out of a Head and Shoulders commercial, like the tryouts with like Troy Polamalu and all them guys up there on set as well. So, but yeah, no, that should be a good fight though.
All right, that's the last news announcement that I have. Do you have anything that you think I missed or that you would like to share newsworthy to talk about before we move into the fights for this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, I mean, just I guess we can mention real quick just while you're pulling the card up. What was your opinion on Contender Series last night? I mean, I thought it was a pretty good Contender Series overall, but definitely a weird one.
I'm a degenerate, so I bet on Contender Series with doing absolutely no research on them. I just kind of listen to other people, like kind of listen like to what they say, and then I watch the weigh-ins and kind of see how they size up. I was right on the first fight. I had Chick to win under 1.5. So, but I had a parlay, and then the next fight, I think I had the Russian dude like the win, or the Georgian dude like the win, and the Congolese dude won. So it fucking busted my parlay. So I was like, shit. I thought that was a close fight. That dude's going to be an issue, dude. He has no technique or skill. He is just young and powerful, dude, and has cardio, dude. He's from one of those fucking countries that's like they just run to get places. So it's like he just has cardio forever, So it's just like, dude, it's absolutely
and natural strength too, just straight, pure natural strength.
And he's so young, dude. So he's going to be an absolute problem. One of the fights fucking fell off, so that was dumb. And then,
what was your opinion about that though? Like, I mean, the dude ended up like what Dana was basically saying, like the dude got cold chills in the back, in the back room, and was like, "I'm done, man." Like that was interesting.
I don't know if that's what, dude. I don't know. That was a weird fight because at the weigh-ins, he seemed like the bigger, like he was like bigger than the other dude, like way bigger than the other dude. I actually had a bet on him, like the win. So when he didn't even fucking show up and then like that story came out, I was like, what the hell? So I don't even know. That's kind of odd. But Dana's going to say what Dana's going to say, and who actually knows what went on behind the scenes and all that. And then in the main event, I was actually trying to change my fridge water filter during this time. So my girlfriend, dude, she's been buying bottled water because she refuses to drink the tap water, but she'll drink the filtered fridge water. So, but like the light's been red like inside the fridge, so she won't drink it. So I fucking changed it. So actually was trying to do that during like the fight, but actually saw what happened. Israel's teammate looks pretty good, and interested to see how he looks in the UFC. But yeah, let's see.
The Sterling dude, his
Henry's
Izzy's teammate. Yeah. Riley, come on, dog.
Merab,
why gotta say that?
Who's the third announcer dude? Yeah, like I saw him like 2 weeks ago too. Not sure who that guy is, but
I guess someone just to throw in there in the mix. I mean, Brendan Fitzgerald can't do all of them, right? I mean,
yeah.
And John Anik, you're not calling John Anik to do Contender Series. Like, let's be real.
We got Who's Your Daddy saying, what do you guys think of Themba Gorimbo? I think he's an all right fighter. I mean, he ain't ever going to be the champion or anything like that, but he's an all right fighter with a cool story, I guess. That's about all I could say. The dude from Congo would be everyone at Power Slap for sure, dude. It didn't look like anything phased them, dude. The body kicks, the punches, nothing, dude. And like that was Merab's training part.
He ate a couple of like clean punches too, and just kept walking forward. And
knees to the face, dude. And
like he good chin. Like I can see why Dana was like, you know what? I thought he lost the fight and screw it. I just think that if he got with some real guys and started training, that he could be something. And he's got an exciting story as well. So yeah, I was definitely excited for him.
Everything. Yeah. Just
Yep.
ate everything. And then Riley saying, love you, D.
Damn.
All right. All right. So with that being said, let's get into the fights for this upcoming weekend. So I'll share my screen and I'll get the new banner pulled up here for this upcoming weekend's Noche UFC 306 taking place at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Yeah, going to be 10 fights with movies in between. So I'm interested to see how that looks from home. So I might even buy the pay-per-view when I get back home just so I can see what it look. It depends how I do in Vegas because I'm going to Vegas and I'm going to be a degenerate while I'm there. So yeah, might as well try
I'll let
to
you know how I'll let you know how the viewing experience is from from TV. Yeah, you let me know how it is from inside.
Yeah, I mean, I want to
I had to say that. Like, yeah, I cannot have let that sit there without saying that. No way.
Yeah. About whatever he wants. All right, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna have a vlog this weekend. I'm going to be going to the Sphere for Noche UFC 306 in Las Vegas. Once again at the Sphere. Going to be taking place Saturday, September 14th at 7:30 p.m. East Coast time. Going to be headlined by obviously Merab the Machine Dvalishvili and the current champion of the world, the Sugar Show, Sean Omalley. Also known as Riyadh Season Noche UFC. The venue is obviously the Sphere, the one and only time this will ever happen. Dana White has hyped me up so much that I have spent the most money that I've ever spent on tickets to go out here to do this. Well, not only me, my girlfriend did as well. Shout out my girlfriend for just making sure that this could happen. You are my everything, babe. So with that being said, 10 fights on the card, headlined by Sugar, Sean Omalley taking on the Machine, Merab Dvalishvili. Co-main event is going to be, or that's going to be for the Bantamweight Championship of the World. And the co-main event is going to be for the Flyweight Championship of the World. Alexa Grasso versus Valentino Bullet Shevchenko, the third time. So the third time this fight will be happening. Grasso won the first time by fourth round submission, I believe. The second fight ended in a draw. And then, this is the third time the fight's going to happen. The long-awaited T-City Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. This fight was going to happen a few months ago. T-City pulled out, and then Diego Lopes ended up fighting Dan Ige on a few hours short notice. But the fight is put back together for the Sphere. We've got Daniel, the Golden Boy Zellhuber, taking on Esteban Ribovics. We've got Ronaldo Lazy Boy Rodriguez taking on the Jamaican sensation, I believe, Ode Osbourne. We've got one of my favorite fighters in Irene Aldana taking on another fan favorite in Norma, the dump truck driver, CDL license holder, Dumont, or the Immortal, whichever one you want to call her. Yeah. Probably got our fight of the night here, dude. And dude, I'm excited for this fight. We've got Manuel El Loco Torres taking on Ignacio La Jaula Bahamondes. Yeah, so the crazy Manuel Torres taking on the cage Ignacio Bahamondes. Fun fight. We got Yasmin Jauregui taking on Ketlin Souza. We've got Edgar Chairez taking on Joshua Van. Got knocked out 2 months ago, but he's back. And we've got the opening fight of the night, the young one, I believe the youngest fighter in the UFC, the 19-year-old Raul Rosas Jr. He's going to be taking on the Mongolian murderer in Aoriqileng. Man, these guys are really messing out on this card, huh? Michel Pereira and Anthony Hernandez and Kevin Borjas, dude. What a terrible card to pull out of, dude. This
just missing the Michelle Pereira and Fluffy fight. I mean, that just would have been a fun fight in general to watch. So yeah, this sucks that fight didn't get to happen. I believe because Fluffy didn't he have a bad injury? Didn't he tear his ACL or something? So
I have no idea. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I heard they had a bad injury, but yeah, it sucks that fight couldn't be on the card either.
Yeah, but possibly. But aside from that, D-Rose, what's your thoughts on the card as a whole? I know a lot of people are, not too excited about it. We got the cat on screen.
My cat Maggie won't leave me alone.
Yeah, like I know, like a lot of people are, I guess, not too excited about it, dude. But dude, this is a really good fight card, and I don't know, maybe I'm just a big fan of like all the Mexican fighters, but I wish there were a few more on this card. Like if we got a Brandon Moreno or a Yair Rodriguez, either one of those also on this card, dude, dude, this fight would have been fucking fantastic. I already love the card because, yeah, I'm just a fan, dude. It is what it is. Like I wouldn't have, spent
Well,
the
it's
money
got your
on the tickets
favorite fighter. It's got your favorite
Yeah.
fighter on the card. Plus, it's got some of your favorite Mexican fighters too, like Alexa Grasso and Randy Aldana, and a couple of those as well. So they definitely hit a couple of nice little soft spots for you in particular that they can make. I can see why you're 100% excited for this card. Just petting my pussy over here.
Screenshot. Yeah. So what do you rank the card as a
So-
whole, D-Rose, before we get into it?
I mean, I think it's a good card overall. I mean, I think it's a little top heavy. I do think the top three fights are, really good fights, but I would say in the same breath that I'm kind of tired of the Shevchenko and Grasso fight at the same time. While I recognize it's a good fight, I'm getting kind of tired of that. So I'd say, yeah, I'm with Tim. I say a solid. I say a B plus. Yeah, I'll give it a B plus because I do think the main event, very interesting storyline. And obviously we'll get into the fight as a whole, but yeah, I think interesting storyline there. Super excited for T City and Diego Lopes, and yeah, I think great card overall, but sucks that a few of the fights couldn't have came through. But hey, I'm talking about just in terms of the fight. Of course, the Fierce is supposed to bring just a whole different aspect within itself because that's supposed to be a show within itself. They're supposed to be doing as you said, the movie thing in between fights. So I'm talking about just from a fight quality perspective. I'm not talking about a whole show perspective because if they're able to go out here and make this thing very aesthetically pleasing to where, it's one of the best events we've ever watched just due to the viewing experience alone. Yeah, I think that can help also take it over the top. This isn't just a regular pay-per-view taking place in just regular the MGM Grand or wherever. Yeah, this is happening in the Sphere, so it's going to be a completely different show altogether.
Yeah. Hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully it is worth it. And I feel you, Dave. And hopefully, Tim, it is going to be amazing inside there as well. But Dave, I feel you just because. But for me personally, it just has my favorite fighter at the top. So of course, I'm gonna be fucking. Of course, I'm gonna be fucking stoked to go. But I am a fan of all the Mexican fighters, as well. It just kind of adds a little cherry on top that like that. Omalley's fighting on the card. Yeah. So with that being said, D-Rose, let's get into it. First fight of the night, we've got Raul Rosas Jr., El Nino Problema, taking on the Mongolian Murder in Aoriqileng. El Nino Problema, Raul Rosas Jr. is 9-1 overall out of his last 5 fights. He has 4 wins and 1 loss. Win on the Contender Series, submission over Jay Perrin. He did lose to C-Rod. Knocked out the absolute bum that is Terrence Mitchell. And then submitted Ricky Tercios via rear naked choke 2 months ago. On the other hand, oh man, terrible flavor that just came out of my mouth. On the other hand, the Mongolian Murder, Aoriqileng, is 25-11 overall out of his last 5 fights. He has 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest. But to be honest, he was losing that as well. He was looking for a way out in that Daniel Marcos fight because he was getting his fucking ass whipped, to be honest, and he got hit in the sack and was like, I'm done. So the fight did end in a no contest, but kind of bullshit, to be honest. Yeah, with that being said, currently odds for this fight are -850 for Raul Rosas Jr., plus 575 for Aoriqileng. Raul Rosas Jr., 19 years old, 5'9", and a 67-inch reach, while Aoriqileng is 31 years old, 5'7", and a 69-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose. And how I personally think this fight goes is Raul Rosas goes out there and does what Raul Rosas does. He's going to maybe jump through the air with a flying knee, maybe throw a flying head kick. He's going to jump somehow. And then as soon as he lands, he's going for the ankles. He's going to pick Aoriqileng's legs up, tip him over his head, get him down on the ground, and probably going to keep Aoriqileng there all of the first round if he doesn't finish him in the first round, to be honest. But if it gets to the second round, give me Raul Rosas via second round submission because, dude, Aoriqileng, he has terrible takedown defense, dude. He just gets taken down so easy, and he swings so hard. I just think he overreaches quite a bit. He flirts in between 125 and 135, so he's not the biggest guy. As where Raul Rosas Jr. is slowly growing more and more, 19, putting on more weight, and he has a big bantamweight. Yeah, so give me Raul Rosas. Let's go second round submission. But yeah, if it happened in the first, it wouldn't surprise me too much. What's your thoughts on the first fight of the night here in Raul Rosas Jr. and Aoriqileng?
Yeah, I think the because from what I'm looking at on ESPN, if they're right now they got Raul Rosas as a minus 1,000. I mean, that's absolutely nuts. I mean, Aoriqileng he's a solid enough fighter to where I think he can earn a little bit more respect than being that big of an underdog. Plus 550 right now, you can bet on him. I do think Raul Rosas wins. Aoriqileng, he's just been a pretty tough fighter and a tough fighter to really put away too. Like I know he's been knocked out before, but just in terms of being submitted, he hasn't even been submitted in the UFC. I mean, I think Raul Rosas has a chance to land a big punch, maybe hurt him and get a club and sub. But I think if he doesn't do that, I think he can obviously win in the wrestling exchanges. But I do think that Aoriqileng could potentially be tough to submit. So I could see a potential 3-round control fest from Raul Rosas, and maybe not the most eventful fight, but I think a dominating fight. You might see a 10-8 in one of those rounds. But yeah, I think Raul Rosas gets it done by decision.
All right, me and you both on Raul Rosas Jr. I think he subs him, and you think he wins by decision. What's up with Dana White giving away $25K for the fans in the Sphere with an Easter egg hunt? I don't know if it's just in the Sphere or if it's on the pay-per-view as well. Yeah, I don't really know what to look for or anything like that. No idea. I think it'd be cool, but yeah, I have no idea how that would work. We have Covenant saying, I just hope we can dodge another fake Brian Ortega animal wisdom story. We got Dave with the Chiwiwis. We got Derek Jufrey saying Chiwiwis by round 2 sub. All right, me as well. Might throw some bread at the Mongolian money line just because of this line. Yeah, it's probably worth it. It's probably worth it, Dave. I don't hate you for it, but I got Raul Rosas Jr. second round sub. So let's move on to the next fight. That is Edgar. I'm not going to try to say that. Chairez taking on the fearless Josh Van. Edgar Chairez, out of his last 5 fights, is 11-5 with a no contest there. Yeah. Premature stoppage. Dude, he
was at that fight, correct?
Yeah. It was last Noche UFC. Yeah, he choked him. His arm dropped. Chris Leone stopped it, and then he's like, I didn't stop it, and then he went on to submit him in the first round anyway. Before that, he did lose Tatsuro Taira, but he did drop Tatsuro Taira in that fight, and that was before he was in the UFC, so it really don't matter. But Josh Van, on the other hand, in his last 5 fights, he is 4 wins, 1 loss. He is 10-2 overall. He has a split decision win over Zhalgas Zumagulov, a unanimous decision win over Kevin Borjas, a knockout over Felipe Burns, and his last fight, D-Rose, look at this, happened 1 month, 3 weeks, and 4 days ago. You know where you were at on that day, D-Rose?
We was up there doing the live stream.
Yeah. You were in Hampton, Virginia, and we were watching the fights together when we saw Charles Johnson snooze Josh Van in the 3rd round, dude. And that was right now, like 37 days ago. Oh no, 1 month, 3 weeks. So that was like, dude, that was like 59 days ago, 58 days ago, some shit like that. So about 60 days ago, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, it seems a little early to be returning after getting knocked out like that, but currently odds for the fight plus 195 for Edgar Chairez, minus 238 for Josh Van. Edgar Chairez, 28 years old, 5'7" and a 72-inch reach, while Josh Van is 22 years old, 5'5" and a 65-inch reach. So Edgar Chairez is going to be 2 inches taller and have about a 7-inch reach advantage over Josh Van, dude. And this is a tough fight to call, to be honest, because I do like both fighters. Both fighters, in my opinion, are both fairly good fighters. Josh Van kind of starts slow, puts on the pressure as the fight goes on, throws nice body shots as the fight goes on. And him getting knocked out in the third round really surprised both of us because we expected him to do the knocking out in the third round in his last fight. But dude, it's just I don't think it's a great idea to be coming back this early, to be honest. So with that being said, dude, I just think Edgar has more power in his hands and could have the better moments as where Josh is going to land the more volume over the fight, at least in the second and third. But if Edgar can have a big enough moments in the first round and big enough moments in the second round, I think he could probably steal this fight just because the fans might be behind him, the old Mexican crowd. So, yeah, give me the dog. Give me the dog in the second fight of the night, plus 195, Edgar Chairez. Which way are you going here, man? I already know, but it's okay.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I wouldn't say that because I can completely. I'll say this. I can make arguments for literally both fighters. That's how much up in the air I am on this fight. And a lot of it does have to do with what you said, the quick turnaround. I mean, it was a good shot from Charles Johnson. I'm not gonna say it was a lucky shot. I mean, he timed the uppercut perfectly. Just landed a complete bomb on him and got him out of there. So good shot from him. He was doing well in the second round, and I thought he was going to start taking control as the third round went because he was getting better as the fight went on until he had that big shot landed on him. I don't think Edgar Chairez has that same type of power. I know he dropped Tatsuya Taira before, but I just don't, I guess, view Edgar Chairez as a striker as I do more of a grappler. But I do think that is where, Charles Johnson wasn't able to control the whole fight from there, but he's not necessarily a full-blown wrestler as well, where Edgar Chairez obviously has a lot better control on the ground, a lot better jiu-jitsu, good submission ability. So I can really make the argument either way. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to go Edgar Chairez. And I'm going Edgar Chairez because I do think the turnaround for Josh Van just too soon, man. Just too soon, coming off a bad loss. I don't think he's really given himself enough time to recover. And I don't know if he loses by submission. Maybe second round submission. I wouldn't be surprised if some people were to play that. I mean, I think Edgar Chairez at the money line right now would be a pretty good play as well. But yeah, I think he's every bit of a live dog in this fight, just with his danger on the ground.
Fair enough. So me and D-Rose both on the dog in Edgar Chairez. Kind of scares me because usually when me and D-Rose are both on a dog, it usually loses. That's usually what happens when we're both on a dog. We got Steve Yule saying, are we going to meet up for a photo? It depends, Steve. I'm only going to be there Friday afternoon, and then I fly back here Sunday morning at 6 a.m. So I'm only going to be there for literally Friday afternoon, Saturday, and I fly back early Sunday morning, 6 a.m. So if I'm free, hopefully we can try to meet up somewhere. My guy, just hit me up on Instagram, and I'm sure we can figure it out. I want to show you what a real man's beard looks like. Yeah, mine'll probably be shaved off by this weekend. I I usually just grow it like 2 months at a time, and then just kind of cut it down to like a 1 guard. So I'll cut it before this weekend, before I head to Vegas. So I'll look a little bit different anyway. Are we believing Dana when he says they won't be at the Spear again, or is he trying to prey on the FOMO? I don't think they'll be. I don't think they'll be going back. To be
I wouldn't be
honest.
surprised, but they gotta get a lot more oil money to be able to do that, because that's exactly what they're getting now to get this show going. So unless they get more of that, I very well could believe them that it could be one and done.
We got Love You saying, let's go, man. We had Sugar Ray saying about that time, dude. Josh by split decision. I just
we got the Sugar Ray. We got this.
Stupid. Yeah, I got you. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna have to click through these real quick. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. He's killing the merch, seeing t-shirts everywhere. Yeah. There's a lot of good merch out here. You going to Spirit? Yeah, I will be there Friday afternoon. What's Instagram? Is that what's Instagram? Well, that's the only thing I have. All right. Are you guys gonna see ticket price around $850 now? Some of the tickets are. You guys have to be careful if you do want to go, because you have to make sure that you can get the ticket where you can see. That's the important part. Yeah, because there's a lot of really cheap tickets, but I would hate to go and then not be able to see shit because you're covered up by overhang. So yeah, so me and D-Rose both on Edgar Chairez in the second fight of the night. Wow, that took a long time. So let's move on to the third fight of the night, which is Yasmin Jauregui taking on Ketlin Souza. You know how I try to remember Ketlin Souza? By her butterfly neck tattoo. I believe that's what's on her neck. Or something's on there. Anyway, she got a neck tattoo. Yeah. With that being said, this fight, Yasmin Jauregui is 11-1 overall. Her only loss ever is to Denise Gomes in a fight that I was adamant trying to tell you guys that she was going to get knocked out in the fight, and she did so. I cashed a plus 800 ticket on Denise Gomes in that fight. Yeah, Ketlin Souza Esquitina is 14-4 overall, with her last 2 fights being in the UFC with a loss over Karina Silva, knee bar, which, I mean, who doesn't lose to Karina Silva? And then this one, Marnik Mann, unanimous decision win where, dude, she didn't look great against Marnik Mann. I mean, she did win, but she got, like, swept by Marnik Mann, like, in the 3rd round. Doesn't look like she has the best gas tank in the world. So just not the best look in the world. Currently, odds for this fight, minus 500 Yasmin Jauregui, plus 380 for Ketlin Souza. Yasmin Jauregui, 25 years old, 5'3" and a 64-inch reach, while Ketlin Souza is 29 years old, 5'3" and a 63-inch reach. So same size, but Jauregui is going to have inch reach advantage. D-Rose, in my opinion, I don't see a way Ketlin Souza wins this fight, to be honest. Like, not even a little bit anywhere. She's not quick enough to get in on Jauregui, and if she does, she doesn't have the power to land on her to hurt her, to put her out. She's not better on the ground than Jauregui is, because Jauregui is really good on the ground, and she hasn't even had to show that in the UFC yet. That's where her base comes from, is from jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, dude, I just think Yasmin Jauregui wins every part of this fight. Can you bet it at minus 500? No, you can't. So win props open up at, give me Jauregui to win this fight, 3 or decision. That's my play for this fight right here. What about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, I couldn't have really said it too much better myself. Yeah, Ketlin Souza just wasn't too impressive in her opening fight, and Yasmin Jauregui, you know, she is pretty well rounded for the most part. You know, got good strikes. You know, she doesn't really use too much of her submissions too much. You know, I don't think she has a submission to her name, but she does, you know, have a good few knockouts, and we know her just be a clean striker for the most part. And I think as long as she's able to use her,
almost Karina Silva-esque down at 115.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I can say that. Or You said Karina, or you mean Natalia Silva a little bit?
Natalia Silva.
Yeah. I would say, I would say, yeah. You said Karina Silva. Yeah. But no. I think Yasmin Jauregui, good striker. She's light on her feet. Good boxing for the most part. I just think she's a more well-rounded fighter, and I think this will be by decision as well. But I'm going Yasmin Jauregui.
All right, me and you both on Yasmin Jauregui to win the fight. Are you also by decision?
Yes, by decision.
All right, we got House of Cards, 400 level, 850, great unobstructed view, but further back. Yeah, I end up getting in the 300 section. They have 10 experiences Friday, Saturday, Bilal, Mike Chandler. Yeah, I saw all of that's going to be in this parking lot of the Sphere. So I'll try to go to a little bit. The seats, I think, are overhang 200 level. That was what I wanted to avoid, was not being able to, see the security roast. I could not imagine paying that money to go there and then not being able to see anything. Going to be awesome. I'm going to bring the kids with me Saturday, Thursday, and Friday. It's for the boys. That's what's up, man. I hope you have a good time. Sure. So me and you are both on Yasmin Jauregui via decision.
Yep.
Or I'm on 3 or decision. So let's move on to the next fight, probably fight of the night, in my personal opinion. We've got Manuel El Loco Torres taking on Ignacio La Jaula Bahamondes. So the crazy taking on the cage. Manuel Torres is 15-2 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he is 5-0 with 1 being on the Contender Series, 1 being on the Contender Series, and 3 being in the UFC, all by first round knockout. Knocked out Frank Camacho very, very violently, dude. That was kind of hard to watch, to be honest. He threw like all the power he had into those hooks. Knocked out Nicholas Moda and then choked out Chris Duncan. In his last fight, he did get kind of wobbled a little bit there in the first round, though. Not going to lie, 6 months ago. Ignacio Bahamondes, on the other hand, is 15-5 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, all been in the UFC. Roosevelt Roberts spinning wheel kick, the highlight that you see every time that he fights. We got Rong Zhu. We saw him fight this past weekend. 2 years ago, chokes him out with a Bravo choke. And then Trey Ogden, unanimous decision win, which is a good look. He lost to Ludovic Klein a year ago, but dude, Ludovic Klein, I don't know how he passed this fucking steroid test, to be honest, dude. That dude is jacked. And then we got Christoph Giagos head kicked him 4 months ago. Currently, odds for this fight are Ignacio Bahamondes -102, Manuel Torres -118. So Manuel Torres, the slight favorite, but about a pick'em. Manuel Torres, 29 years old, 5'10" and a 73-inch reach, while Ignacio Bahamondes is 27 years old, 6'3" and a 75.5-inch reach. I guess I expected the height to be almost the same here, but I guess Ignacio is going to be a little bit taller. But he's a little bit more like, I don't know, dude. Like, we'll talk about it like a little bit later, but he's almost kind of like not comfortable with how long he is. Like, he kind of looks awkward sometimes, like when he goes the strike in close. And like another person that has this exact problem is Irina Aldana. And we'll talk about it. She just has this weird stance and not the fastest in the world. So I think that might be an issue here with a person that starts very, very fast, as all of his fights basically end in the first round in Manuel Loco Torres. So yeah, D-Rose, I think this goes one of 2 ways. This is Manuel Loco Torres round 1, or this is probably Ignacio Bahamondes late round 2 or early round 3. But yeah, dude, give me Manuel Torres to come out here and knock out Ignacio Bahamondes early. I think part of me is just realizing how much Ignacio doesn't move his head, dude. He's kind of always there, but he's tough, but man, he doesn't move his fucking head. And it kind of, against this El Loco Torres, dude, I think that's going to be an issue. Now, on the other hand, Manuel Torres could gas, and Ignacio Bahamondes has been training with Bilal Muhammad, so his wrestling is probably improving a little bit at least. Yeah. Give me Manuel Torres to knock out Ignacio Bahamondes in the first round. That's going to be my pick. But my bet, as soon as we get props on this, give me this fight to go under 2.5. And this probably be the fight of the night as well. So under 2.5 rounds for me, but Manuel Torres. How about you, D-Rose?
I mean, there's a couple of these fights on here, and I think we'll talk about it later. But I think Ribovics and Zellhuber, I think that one's got another chance for fight of the night potential too. And I think kind of similar matchups. But I think this could be, as you said, absolute fireworks. Ignacio Bahamondes, great striker. Good range. He's huge for the division. What is he? 6'3". 6'3" for lightweight. He's an absolute monster. And Manuel Torres is just on his Steve Garcia, the meme machine streak, was just finishing everybody in the first round. Even guys like Chris Duncan, who we know is $2 stake tough, man. And for him to still get Chris Duncan out of there as quickly as he did. Manuel Torres, that dude does not go around. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time, man. He's trying to get dudes out of there. So I think just in terms of how they match up, it's interesting. Ignacio Bahamondes you can make the argument kind of crumple the pressure a little bit, but also we have not seen Manuel Torres hit any adversity whatsoever in any of his UFC fights, where I do think that Ignacio Bahamondes
Chris Duncan cracked him early in the last fight, and he was kind of like wobbling up. Like, it was the first 5 seconds of the fight, just came out and fucking cracked him. But as far as later on, I feel you.
Right. Yeah. Hadn't really faced any like real pushback outside of, you can say, one really good punch, where I think, Ignacio Bahamondes, he has, kind of gone through, taking a few lumps in the UFC, and, kind of learned his way, training with one of the best in the world right now, as you said, in Bilal Muhammad, who always talks glowingly whenever he's mentioned about Ignacio Bahamondes as just being one of the best athletes that he's ever trained with. And one of the cleanest strikers that he's ever faced as well. So I think Ignacio Bahamondes, with the range, with the clean striking, Manuel Torres is a tank. Let Ignacio Bahamondes survive the first 2.5 minutes, and I think it's his fight to lose. He controls the range, and I think he may be a late finish. Let's go round 2 knockout for Ignacio Bahamondes.
Do you like parlay in the under 2.5 up? Because as soon as it's available, I'm gonna fucking click it, dude. Or the not to go to decision. One of the two, whichever one it is, that's what I'm gonna click.
Yeah. I'll probably end up. I probably won't go too heavy on it, but I'll probably end up playing it at least a little bit.
All right. So with that being said, that's our first different pick of the night, where I'm on Manuel El Loco Torres, and D Rose is on La Hawa, Ignacio Bahamondes. All right, we're gonna move on to the next fight of the night. We got Norma Dumont, the CDL driver, the dump truck driver, CDL license holder, the immortal. She's going to be taking on Irina Aldana. Irina Aldana is 15-7 overall, while Norma Dumont is 11-2. Out of Irina Aldana's last 5 fights, she is 3 wins and 2 losses. Loss over Holly Holm 3 years ago. Knocked out Yana Santos. Knocked out Macy Chiasson with an up kick to the liver. Retired Amanda Nunes with that uppercut, but somehow there's a L here for some reason. I don't know why. And then had basically
tell Tapology to fix her shit, dude.
Probably the best, probably the second best women's fight ever, dude. Maybe behind Weili and Joanna, dude. This fight, Carol Hossa and Irina Aldana, dude. That was a fucking banger fight. One of the fights of the year 8 months ago. Could be fight of the year this year, to be honest, especially for the women. Now, on the other hand, Norma Dumont, out of her last 5 fights, 4 wins, 1 loss, split decision loss to Macy Chiasson. Danielle Wolf decision win. Carol Hossa decision win. Chelsea Chandler decision win, and Jermaine Duranamy decision win 4 months ago. Currently, odds for this fight minus 110 apiece, split down the middle, and I understand, to be honest. Irene Aldana, 36 years old, 5'9", 68.5-inch reach, while Norma Dumont is 33 years old, 5'7", and a 67-inch reach. Now, the Rose. You know I am an Irene Aldana fan. You know I love seeing her fight, dude. She's a good striker. She's one of the only, dude, I love when women have power or the striking ability to snooze these bitches, dude. It's so fun seeing a chick knock another chick unconscious. You're like, oh shit. Like, it makes you more alive than when you see a dude do it. So you're like, oh fuck, this girl's got some power. And Irene Aldana is that girl. But I feel like you have to catch her on the right night. It's like if she's like hot or cold, dude, there's no warm. It's like she's going to come out there, smoke you, put on fight of the night performance, or she's going to come out there with her, dude, she don't even cover her chin, dude. She like covers her fucking, like her hands are like glued right here the entire fight, dude. And she's just out. She's just so out with her leg just ready to be kicked, dude. And I love Irene Aldana. And although Carol Rosa's leg kicks didn't affect her, I guess, Norma Dumont.
No, I would say they definitely did, which is why Irene Aldana had to bite down on her mouthpiece and go for it, because she was trying to play the distance game and had to bite down because Carol Rosa was eating her up with those legs.
She had the like the poker face of like, fuck your leg kicks, eat my jab. Like that was her like response. Like it was like she was eating them enough, but it wasn't deterring her from walking forward and still throwing, as where you see other people, you know, they'll like limp and hop and shit. You know, she didn't look like Magomed Ankalaev out there is basically what I'm saying. So I think that Norma Dumont is a heavier girl down bottom than Carol Rosa is. And although a lot of people are going to say you're wrong, I think Norma Dumont is a very high IQ fighter. She's not going to do anything to put herself in jeopardy, to lose a position, to finish a fight. She's going to continue to control you from that point on. She's not going to go for the finish. She's just going to continue to win. So that being said, DeRose, it's shitty to say because I'm a huge Irene Aldana fan, but my past 2 times of being a fan like of someone, but seeing a glaring hole in an issue here. One was the Bryce Mitchell Ilya Topuria. I knew that was going to happen, dude. I fucking knew it. But it's like I still picked Bryce Mitchell because I'm just a fan of him. And I'm sure it happens with other fighters too, dude. But I'm not going to let that happen here, dude. Norma Dumont's going to come out here and she's going to control Irene Aldana. She's going to hold her up against the fence. If she gets her down, she's going to hold her there the entire round, dude. She's really heavy on top, man. And she's just a smart fighter. So I know the crowd going to be booing, and at least we could get some cooking here. And if so, Irene could win, which is why I'm not going to be parlaying up this fight a whole lot. But give me Irene, or give me Norma Dumont to probably win this fight via split decision. And, basically take a dump on all the Mexican fans that are going to be cheering on Irene Aldana in the crowd. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I won't harp on the point. I think I think the same thing. I think Norma Dumont by decision here is the play for me. And I think that Class A herself, Norma Dumont, is yeah, I think I like Class A. Yeah, I like the Class A. It makes sense. But yeah, I think Norma Dumont, just a very well-rounded fighter. Good wrestling, good boxing, good leg kicks. She's very well rounded and can take the fight to where her opponent is at their weakest. And I think that Aldana, obviously great boxing, but she is known for not having the greatest takedown defense. And when she gets on her back, she can get a little bit relaxed. And yeah, she had the up kick finish against Macy Chiasson, but Macy Chiasson was kind of having her way with her for the most part on the ground outside of that moment. So I think you're going to see Norma Dumont make some smart decisions. It's not going to be an entertaining fight. Probably going to be the PBF, to be honest, if I had to say out of any of the fights on this card. But I think Norma Dumont gets the decision here.
Yeah. So me and you are the same, dude. I've seen a lot of people this week on Irene, though. And it surprises me a lot because usually I'm the only, I'm the one.
Did you think I was going to pick Irene?
I didn't think so, to be honest.
Yeah. Because I thought because I know we talked before the podcast. I thought you had mentioned that we were going to disagree by that, and that you were going to pick Irene. And then when you picked Norma, I was like, hold on, did he think I was going to pick Irene? No way.
All right. We got Daniel Vasquez saying, hey, everyone, what's going on, Daniel? What's going on, brother? So let's move on to the next one. That is Lazy Boy, Ronaldo Rodriguez, taking on the Jamaican sensation, Ode Osbourne. So Lazy Boy, Ronaldo Rodriguez, is 16-2 overall. He's only had one UFC fight against Dennis Bondar, where he did win via rear naked choke. I believe it was second or third round, one of the two. And then Ode Osbourne is 12-7 overall. With his last 5 fights, he is 2 wins and 3 losses with a Zaruk Adashev knockout. He did lose to Tyson Nam, where he kept trying to fly and knee him, dude, and Tyson Nam just timed it and just hit him with a hook. He did win a split decision against Charles Johnson, and in a fight that
it's not on the screen.
Oh wow, sorry.
No, you're good. I just realized you were reading over it without it being out there.
Yeah. So Charles Johnson split decision win where, that truly could have went either way. He got hit in the nuts early and it took like a 5-minute break. It was a weird fight. He did get submitted by Asu Amabayev and then submitted by Jafel Filo. With that being said, currently odds for this fight are Ronaldo Rodriguez is -142, your favorite, and Ode Osbourne is +120, your underdog. We have over/under on this one, D Rose. We have over 2.5 +110, the under 2.5 -140. There's also an alternate line on here for 1.5, over 1.5 -195, and under 1.5 +140. Yeah, I don't mind that over 1.5 for sure. But yeah, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Lazy Boy, is 25 years old, 5'6" and a 65-inch reach, while Ode Osbourne is 32 years old, 5'7" and a 73-inch reach. Yeah, D Rose, I think I'm not saying Lazy Boy's Raul Rosas Jr. or anything like that, but he has a very solid ground game and he is very experienced for being 25 years old. He has lots of subs and he has a solid amateur record as well, dude. I think the path is there. Unfortunately, dude, I think we see Ronaldo Rodriguez either submit Ode Osbourne second, third round, or we get Ronaldo Rodriguez decision win by just able to take down and control Ode Osbourne for the entire fight, because Ode Osbourne's takedown defense is, as we like to say, dog water, dude. Not the highest quality water that you would like to be drinking. So, yeah, give me Ronaldo, Lazy Boy Rodriguez, and his crazy teeth or his crazy mouthpiece, whichever one it is. Give me him to win this fight over 1.5 rounds. Let's go Ronaldo Rodriguez, 3rd round submission. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I think I always pick Ode Osbourne. He's typically in a pretty fun fight, win, lose, or draw. But there has been a pretty clear hole in his game over the last few fights that he has lost, and it has been his takedown defense, which has not been great at all. I keep trying to credit that he's working with the Sarah Longo camp. I know he's doing a lot of training with Aljamain and all those guys, but in his last few fights, I've tried to bring that up, and it just unfortunately has not panned out well for me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super high on Ronaldo Rodriguez either. I mean, a win over Dennis Bondar, okay, but I mean, you can say outside of that, I mean, a lot of the guys that Rodriguez was facing, you can look outside of the UFC. None of those guys really had great records. Like I looked at one of his most recent fights. I think one of his dudes were like 0-6 or something like that. And maybe I read it wrong, or they had lost like a bunch of fights in a row. So I'm not super impressed with Ronaldo Rodriguez either. He just looks like he's just fought a bunch of cans to get to this point. But I've just been getting burned every time I've been picking Ode Osbourne, so I'm really stuck in the pickle here. Really stuck in the pickle here. But screw it, man. I'll take Ode. Let's just ride the train one more time. He'll probably end up getting taken down and getting submitted. But yeah, again, I'm just not a big believer in Ronaldo Rodriguez either. So yeah, gun to my head, give me Ode.
All right. With that being said, that's our second different pick of the night. I'm on Lazy Boy Ronaldo Rodriguez. The Rose is on Ode, the Jamaican sensation Rodriguez. We'll move on to the next fight. That is Daniel, the Golden Boy Zellhuber, taking on El Gringo Esteban Ribovics. Daniel Zellhuber, 15-1 overall. Only loss ever was to Trey Ogden in his UFC debut. Since then, decision win over Orlando Venata, submitted Christoph Giagos 11 months ago, and then a decision win over Francisco Prada that is basically the same fighter that Esteban Ribovics is for the most part. Basically, they fight the same way. I believe they're both Argentinian as well, which is kind of wild. So Esteban is 13-1 overall. He won on the Contender Series, lost his UFC debut against Luis Radzhabov. Decision win over Kamuela Kirk, and knocked out Terrence McKinney with a head kick 3 months ago, devastatingly. With that being said, odds for this fight, -230 for Daniel Zellhuber. The favorite and the underdog is Esteban Ribovics at +190. The over-under on this one, D-Rose, is set at 2.5, -188 for the over, and +145 for the under 2.5. Daniel Zellhuber, 25 years old, 6'1" and a 77-inch reach. And Esteban Ribovics is 28 years old, 5'10" and a 69-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, I think this just looks a lot like Daniel Zellhuber's last fight, man. As I said, basically the same guy, Francisco Prado, Esteban Ribovics. They both fight basically the same way, walk forward, throw hooks, throw pressure. I honestly think that Francisco Prado probably has better takedown defense than Esteban does. And Daniel Zellhuber training with Eric Nixick, he's going to have a solid game plan. And if Esteban Ribovics goes into this thinking that Daniel Zellhuber is just going to stand there and bang with him, he's just wrong, dude. Daniel Zellhuber probably going to stay at range the majority of this fight, teep kicks, things like that. But if Esteban closes, I like the distance. Give me Daniel Zellhuber to take down Esteban here. And yeah, give me Daniel Zellhuber to win this fight over 1.5. Give me Daniel Zellhuber to win this fight via decision. And currently, Daniel Zellhuber to win via decision is +125. Yeah. Give me Daniel Zellhuber via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting fight. As I said earlier, talking about the Bahamondes and Torres fight, I think this fight can play out pretty similarly. I think even going back into Zellhuber's last fight with Francisco Prado, I think Francisco Prado was a little bit, he got that dog in him, but he was kind of able to make it a little bit more of a scrap with Daniel Zellhuber, and yeah, he was able to bring in a little bit more of a scrap, but Zellhuber did end up looking very impressive with the striking, his distance management, landing big shots in that fight. Showed patience as well, because that was the big thing. When he lost to Trey Ogden, went in there and got a little bit excited there in the first round, and looked like Trey Ogden kind of took over late. Where Ribovics, man, unfortunately, Max Holloway took away anybody having the possibility of having knockout of the year, because Ribovics would be right up there for knockout of the year. If it wasn't for Max Holloway, with that knockout over Terrence McKinney, he just had Terrence McKinney literally sitting on the fence smiling after he got knocked out. And the loss of Loic Radzhabov isn't a bad loss because we know Loic's a pretty good fighter overall. But I do think Zellhuber sharp, man. Sharp striking. And I think that Prado fight and his last fight really kind of showed what he really can be when he kind of realizes his full potential. Yeah, I am with you. I do think, Ribovics is tough as hell, so I do think he's going to be hard to finish. But, yeah, I think Zellhuber is going to be able to use his kicks, knees. I think he's going to be able to control the distance, hit Ribovics with good counter shots. I mean, I think it's going to be a fun fight. I just think Zellhuber is going to get the better of the exchanges, more or less. And I think that Zellhuber ends up getting a decision win, and what I think it could be another candidate for fight of the night as well. But I'm going Daniel Zellhuber.
All right. Me and you both on the Golden Boy, Daniel Zellhuber. So, yeah, D-Rose, here we go. Is the hair going to be on the line? We are here at the featured fight of the evening. This was scheduled, few weeks ago, a couple months ago. So
yep.
D-Rose picked T-City the last time that this fight was scheduled. And, as you'll see on the thumbnail, D-Rose has Diego Lopes's hair as he, I don't know, I think it was after,
I believe it was after 295, right? When he knocked out Sabatini.
Yeah. I think it was after that fight when
we watched it together.
Yeah, like when you were like, dude, you got to put his hair on me in the thumbnail. So, the last time this fight happened, you picked T-City, and we always have the pick champ on the line, but something else was on the line. It was the hair in the thumbnail, D-Rose. So same stakes here, man. If you pick T-City and Diego Lopes wins, no more hair on the thumbnail for D-Rose. Now, if you pick T-City and he wins, I'll let you keep the hair if you want. So, so let's get into this fight. We've got T-City, Brian Ortega, taking on Diego Lopes. Man, just been on an absolute tear since he came in the UFC. T-City, out of his last 5 fights, is 3 losses, 2 wins. 5 years ago, lost to Max Holloway. Chan Sung Jung, 3 years ago, unanimous decision win. Volk lost in decision win 2 years ago. Lost to Yair 2 years ago with a shoulder injury. And then 6 months ago, submitted Yair with an arm triangle. Dude, that does not feel like 6 months ago. It does not feel like that long ago. Crazy. On the other hand, Diego Lopes is 25-6 in the UFC. His debut was against Movsar Evloev on short notice. I remember that podcast. We're like, what's wrong with this dude's hair? And then after that, we're like, dude, he's going to be good. And then I was in Nashville a year ago when he submitted Gavin Tucker an armbar, and I was like, holy shit. I then saw him at the Noche card, and I was like, dude, I saw you. Like the Nashville fight. That was sick. You're a really good fighter. And then it was at that moment that I realized that he doesn't really speak English, so he had no clue what I was saying. So we did get a picture of that. So that's cool. He knocked out Pat Sabatini. That's when D-Rose got the hair. Then knocked out Sadiq Yusuf. And then 2 months ago, on a couple hours' notice, fought Dan Ige, and he did win via decision. Currently, odds for this fight, D-Rose, plus 154 for Brian Ortega, the underdog, minus 185 for Diego Lopes, the favorite. The over-under on this one is 2.5. The over 2.5, minus 125. The under 2.5, minus 105. T-City, 33 years old, 5'8". I feel like he's taller than that now. And a 69-inch reach, while Diego Lopes is 29 years old, 5'11", and a 72.5-inch reach. So Diego Lopes for sure going to be the bigger guy here. And yeah, it kind of has me worried a little bit. If T-City had trouble making weight last time, how is it going to look this time, dude? And Yeah, he's been saying he wants to move up to 155. I just don't know if he's all in, to be honest. Like, we don't see him fight too often, but when we did see him fight in his last fight against Yair, dude, man, he looked good. Now, did he get hurt early with a body shot? Yeah, I think he got dropped. That's the first time he's ever gotten dropped, was in his fucking last fight. And so it just kind of makes me wonder, is he maybe deteriorating a little bit more? That 3-round T-City may not be there like it was against like Moicano and all of his older fights where, you were relying on T-City that 3rd round for him to come back. Almost GM round 3 for the most part. Just get his ass beat for 2 rounds and then win that 3rd round by fucking some kind of crazy sub. Yeah, dude, my pick is still the same here. I am still on Diego Lopes. After seeing the Dane Ige fight, I don't know if he finishes Ortega, though. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think Ortega's tough, and he's got a fucking chin, dude. So give me Diego Lopes to win the first 2 rounds of this fight and just do enough in the 3rd to get that decision win. So he's still going to win all 3 rounds, but round 3 may not be as clear as the other rounds. But give me Diego Lopes to win this fight, let's say via decision. But I don't have him bet via decision. I have him money lined and everything because he can knock out T-City. Who knows? He could submit T-City. Who knows? He can win by decision. All I know is Diego Lopes is winning on Saturday. Him by decision is plus 350. But yeah, give me Diego Lopes money line minus 185. Let's go, Diego. Go, Diego, go.
Yeah.
And hold on. Before I do that, dude, like the reason that I question, dude, I happen to pull this up every time that he fights, dude. It's like Diego Lopes, I think he's taller than 5'11", dude, because I'm like 5'11", 6 foot, like that area, dude, and he's taller than me. I don't know what kind of shoes he had on or anything like that, but he's a big guy, dude. And T-City being 5'8", it kind of, dude, Diego Lopes is going to be massive in there against T-City, dude.
Sorry, no, he's a big guy in general. So yeah, I think size is no issue for him. That's for sure. Yeah, and I am going to stick with my original pick here, and I still think my breakdown for the 2, I think it still applies. That, and I think you can even look back at the Dan Ige fight and make it even more of a comparison point to say that Diego Lopes, super fun fighter. Obviously we're all fans of him, love watching him fight. But I think, and of course, obviously the circumstances change, opponents change, weight class change, like all this stuff. Like Diego Lopes was the ultimate warrior when it came to how he handled that last fight, and still went out there and got a win on a opponent to switch on the same day for a dude who was already getting prepared for a fight coming up in a couple weeks and all this stuff. And yeah, it was a good win from Diego Lopes to get that win against Dan Ige, but he did fizzle out there in the 3rd round. So I'm wondering if he just had an adrenaline dump from just a moment, or if he tried to go out there early and get the finish and just wasn't able to really kind of recover after that. And I guess if you're asking me, I mean, that's 2 months ago, just about. Maybe a little over 2 months ago, but that fight was not that long ago, and a very tough fight. And now you're turning around 2 months later to fight, under hard circumstances against one of the best guys in the world, and Brian Ortega, where I think Brian Ortega, good striking, obviously good jiu-jitsu, very much Spider-Man meme fight here, but I just think Ortega just stood fought the tougher fighters. I think he's a little bit more cleaner in the striking, and he's just not going to go away, man. And I think that's something that's going to be able to aid Brian Ortega in getting this victory. I do think he's going to lose the 1st round, because I think Diego Lopes is going to come out like a bat out of hell. But I think from the 2nd round on, as long as Ortega's able to withstand that damage, I think that's where he can take control of the fight and win. Let's go. I don't think either gets finished because both are just way too tough. I'm going to Ortega by decision, but this one's going to be an absolute scrap.
All right. The hair is on the line. If Diego Lopes wins, D-Rose back to bald on the thumbnail.
You just got to give me the Brian Ortega hair next.
Nope. Back to bald. Back to
Yeah.
bald, Deros. All right.
Messed up.
All right. So let's get into the co-main event of the evening. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. Three?
Unfortunately, 3. Crazy.
Yeah, man. So Alexa Grasso, 16-3-1 out of her last 5 fights. She is 4 wins and 1 draw. Valentina Shevchenko is 23-4 overall. The Bullet is, out of her last 5 fights, is 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. Her last 2 fights were against Alexa Grasso. Same for Grasso. And before that, unanimous decision win over Macy Barber for Grasso. And then she did choke out Joanne Wood. And then she did get a unanimous decision win over Viviane Araujo. And before the Grasso fights for Shevchenko, Talia Santos split decision win when I thought Talia Santos won that fight. Of course, she beat Lauren Murphy. And then Jessica Andrade KO. And basically everyone thought that was Valentina's toughest test for the most part. Currently, odds for this fight, D-Rose, minus 135 for Alexa Grasso, plus 115 for Valentina Shevchenko. The over-under on this one is 4.5. Over 4.5, minus 210. The under 4.5, plus 160. Alexa Grasso is 31 years old, 5'5", and a 66-inch reach, while Valentina Shevchenko is 36 years old, 5'5", and a 65.5-inch reach. Yeah, where do we start here? Yeah, man, pretty sure I don't think I called Alexa Grasso to beat Valentina in the first fight, but I did make the point that Alexa Grasso has been working on her subs and Valentina gives up her back a lot. So I did, just throw a few dollars at Alexa Grasso via sub, and by damn if it didn't happen, dude. So kind of called it, not really, but I did bet it. I let you guys know that do watch the podcast that, hey, watch out for this. So Alexa Grasso wins the first fight via rear naked choke. In a fight that she wasn't really winning, I guess. I guess she was winning moments on the feet, the majority of moments on the feet, but she was getting taken down, dude. And then so Alexa Grasso wins that fight, 4th round rear naked choke. And then in the last fight last year, Noche UFC at the T-Mobile Arena, I was there last year watching this, and dude, I thought Alexa Grasso won the fight. I had my phone ready. I was ready to cash this parlay, dude, because I had Alexa Grasso to win and over 3.5 rounds. So when it went to draw, it didn't get voided because I had Alexa Grasso to win and over a certain amount of rounds. So the draw, that's the L. It's not, if I would have had money line, it would have got fucking voided. So yeah, dude, I thought Alexa Grasso won that fight simply because I thought she was landing more on the feet. She dropped Valentina. Do I agree with the 10-8 in the last round? Absolutely not. But that judge was on something. I thought Alexa Grasso won 3 of those rounds. And if you just go back, watch the first
Was it
fight.
Howie Booth?
No, it was, I think somebody Bell. Somebody Bell. I don't know.
Sounds like a Howie Booth card.
Yeah. How about Howie Bell? Let's just go with that. But yeah. But you just go back and watch, and you can kind of see from the Talia Santos fight and the last 2 Grasso fights, dude, you're seeing Valentina age. She's not as quick on the feet. I don't think she has the same power that she used to have, dude. And Grasso is the cleaner, quicker, and I think the more powerful striker, dude. So if Valentina doesn't get Grasso to the ground, dude, Grasso wins every moment of this fight on the feet, dude. She's a much better. She doesn't have to be like the better striker. She's a good enough boxer to counter Valentina's kickboxing, and it just is what it is. She puts the pressure on her. Valentina can't really kick going backwards. So, yeah, dude, I just think we see more of an evolution. Give me Alexa Grasso to win 4 out of 5 rounds and this to go to decision. Alexa Grasso, and still 125-pound champion of the world, Alexa Grasso, via decision for me. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think it's a super tough fight. Again, I think Valentina is very fortunate to get the third fight because I would say most champs coming off a loss and a draw. Regardless if the last one was a draw and you had lost the one before, they're moving on. Like, so for them to circle back and give Valentina another chance, I mean, she's definitely very fortunate to have the cards fall in her favor like that. Yeah, come on, man. See, tell them, Austin, tell them. It only makes sense. But no, I think a super good matchup. Alexa, it's clear that her boxing is faster than Valentina's at this point. Valentina was always getting away with that little hip toss, getting girls to the ground, because that was her best takedown method. Alexa Grasso took that away with the rear naked choke. So now Valentina, her wrestling is kind of, I don't want to say been exposed, but is a little bit more limited, knowing that, her best avenue of getting the takedown is what ultimately led to her demise in their first fight. So I think, I still think Alexa Grasso, the cleaner boxer of the two. Yeah, I think, and I do agree with you at the point to say Valentina is looking a little bit older at this point now, 36 years old. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the age, the way of life. That's just how life goes at this point. And a lot of times we know that 35-year mark is kind of that line of, as they say, that line of demarcation. To say that you start seeing downward performances after that age. So I'm going to go with Alexa Grasso here. I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle. I think it's going to be potentially a split decision. But let's go Alexa Grasso by decision here.
All right. We got House of Cards. House of Cardboard saying no advantage for Grasso this time. It makes yeah, not according to Valentina, dude. Dude, she was complaining about that whole shit. It's like, do you want the title shot or not? Like, All right,
Yeah.
Main event time. If you guys haven't already, please do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. And let's get into it. Main event time. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy put on. You guys know who I'm going for. Let's not pretend like I'm not going for the Sugar Show this weekend. We've got Sugar, Sean Omalley, 18-1 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, 4 wins, 1 no contest. I punch for Pedro Munoz, but knocked out Raulian Paiva, knocked out Pedro Munoz, knocked out Peter Yan, knocked out Aljamain Sterling, and then knocked out Marlon Chito Vera in his last fight. While on the other hand, Merab the Machine Dvalishvili, 17-4 overall, beat Cody Stamen via decision. Almost got knocked out by Marlon Moraes, beat him via TKO, almost got knocked out by Jose Aldo, then held him up against the fence for the rest of the fight. I don't know what happened in that fucking Peter Yan fight. That was a weird fight. And then almost got knocked out by Henry Cejudo and then relentlessly took him down. So with that being said, currently odds for this fight, -130. Dude, Alexa Grasso is a bigger favorite than Sean O'Malley is. That's crazy to think, but all right. Sean O'Malley -130, Merab +110. The over/under on this one, 4.5, over 4.5, -125. The under 4.5, -105. I kind of imagine D-Rose, if you're going over, you're going Merab. If you're going under, you're probably going Sean O'Malley. But let's get into it. Sean O'Malley, 29 years old, 5'11" and a 72-inch reach, while Merab the Machine Dvalishvili is 33 years old, 5'8" and a 68-inch reach. So that's the stats for this weekend. Yeah. So let's talk about it, D-Rose. I'm a Sugar Sean O'Malley fan. No secret here. I grew this hair out for the past 5 minutes or so, so I could be ready for this moment. Is there any chance Merab don't get knocked out like in the first round here? Like, he gets fucking mollywopped every single first round, dude. And if Omalley hits you, dude, it's almost like it's just different than everyone else, dude. Like, Name one other person that has had, I don't know if it's power, if it's precision, what it is. Who is snoozing 7 people at bantamweight in the UFC? I can't think of anyone else, dude. He just has something that everyone else doesn't have, dude. And if other people are able to hurt and rock you, Merab, I just feel like Omalley's going to snooze you. It's just what it is. So give me Omalley to knock out Merab. Let's go second round, D-Rose. Let's go second round. Could it be first round? Probably will be. But let's say that he hurts Merab just enough at the end of the first round, gets to the second, and he just comes out there and puts his lights out early round 2. So Sean Omalley, second round knockout. Which way are you going here, and why, good sir?
Yeah, I definitely think definitely a well-deserving fight for Merab, on his way, 10, 11 fight win streak at this point. So, longest win streak in the division. Definitely earned his way to the title shot. People make fun of him for not wanting to fight Aljo or whatever, but understandably, that's his best friend and his training partner. So why would he? But we know the road that Omalley had taken to get to the title shot. Beating Peter Yan, beating Aljo, and then coming back and beating Cheetah the way he did. He's starting to get on a roll now, starting to look good, and starting to put his full game together now, because he's starting to face the high level names now that a lot of people were accusing him of kind of ducking earlier on. And I think so. Merab does get hit in a lot of his fights, man. He got clipped in the Henry fight. He got clipped in not so much the Yan fight, but the Marlon Moraes fight.
Dude, the Aldo fight too. Like, and he couldn't take Aldo down, so he had to resort to just holding him up against the fence.
Yeah. So I think that was a big thing too, is that he literally did not take Aldo down once. He just ended up holding him against the fence.
16.
Where I think Omalley can offer a little bit more resistance. He's going to be a little bit more urgent to get off the cage, and then once I see Omalley creating the distance is where I can really see it being trouble for Merab, because Merab just crashes in on a lot of his a lot of when he's closing in, and I think that's where Omalley can really catch him in that in between of him trying to close the distance. So I actually think Omalley gets a knockout as well. I'm going to go second round. I think Merab tries to take it slow a little bit early, but then I think he gets a little bit impatient in round 2, and I think I think Omalley ends up picking him off, and finally one of the blows ends up hurting him, and Omalley just puts a little combo on him and gets him out of there, and gets the TKO victory. So let's go, Sean Omalley.
I don't know if there's a better fighter in the UFC that fights moving backwards than Omalley, dude. Like, he's got this thing where he's able to move backwards, just plant and throw and just fucking snooze these dudes, dude. Yeah, he's just fucking good, dude. And I've personally been a fan of this dude for a while, dude. When we very first started the podcast, I was a huge fan of this dude, and it's just cool to see him come this far, dude, and become the champion, to be this star now, to be headlining the Sphere that is this one and done event, dude. I'm going to be super stoked that I can go to it. Once again, I will be there Friday afternoon. Going to be able to watch the fights in the Sphere on Saturday. Going to be taking a whole bunch of UFC cards with me, so if you see me in Vegas, I'll probably try to get these all packed up in like little individual packs and have some cool shit in there. So if you see me out in Vegas, ask me if I got any UFC cards on me, and I'll try to be handing some out. I'll try to get some cards autographed and shit while I'm out there. But that is going to be the picks for the show today. So one more time, I guess we can go through it. In the first fight of the night, me and D-Rose both on Rosas Jr. Second fight of the night, me and D-Rose both on Edgar Chairez. Third fight of the night, me and D-Rose both on Yasmin Jauregui. Third fight of the night, me and D-Rose split on. I am on Manuel Torres, D-Rose on Ignacio Bahamondes in our first different fight of the night for the pick champ. Next fight, me and D-Rose both on Norma Dumont. Second different fight of the night that we are split on is Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osbourne. I am on Lazy Boy Rodriguez, D Rose on Ode Osbourne, and me and D Rose both on Daniel Zellhuber. And then the third and final different fight me and D Rose are split on is Diego Lopes versus T City, where I am on Diego Lopes. D Rose is on T City, and he's got the hair on the line for this bet. So if Diego Lopes wins, no more hair on the thumbnail for D Rose.
Just the T City hair.
Me and D Rose both on Alexa Grasso, and then me and D Rose both on the Sugar Show, Sean Omalley. D Rose, if you had one play to give out for this weekend, how could you help the viewers? Because I usually do Change the Cheddar Friday, but I'm going to be in Vegas, so there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to get Change the Cheddar done Friday. I'll try to post a screenshot, but I already do have a few bets made, so keep an eye out on maybe the community tab here on the channel. If you follow me on Instagram, keep an eye out on my Instagram story, and then I'll possibly maybe try to get something short up, or maybe I'll schedule something. Who actually knows for Change the Cheddar Friday? But don't expect Change the Cheddar from me here on Friday. So once again, I'll be going to the Sphere, watch the fights, going to be vlogging the whole thing. So keep an eye out early next week for the UFC 306 Noche UFC Sphere vlog. Should be a blast. But D-Rose, you got any plays to help out the people before we get out of here?
Just early on looking, not doesn't have my mind on anything too crazy right now, but if I had to play one that I'd be on the lookout for, because I am pretty confident in Norman Dumont, I definitely look for that Norman Dumont by decision prop. I mean, probably going to be the only way you can get pretty decent plus odds. Because I'm going to imagine that fight going to decision is going to be every bit of minus 300 or more.
Minus
probably every
500.
bit of minus.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, I think Norman Dumont by decision, if you can get it in that plus 150, 170 range, because I mean right now on ESPN Bet they're minus 110 each. I haven't looked on FanDuel or anything, but I'm going to imagine the betting line is still very similarly close. So Norman Dumont.
I think they're plus 130 or plus 110, one of the two. I have it bet.
Yeah,
on my CDS receipt.
Yeah. Norman Dumont by decision would be the play that I would look at for me right now, just as far as like any early play that I feel really good about.
All right, so that's the Rose play of the week. My play of the week, I have already fucking launched it on. I do have a better line than what you can currently get on it, but it's still better than plus 100. And it is currently, what is it? The line is currently plus 150, but I got it plus 190 a little bit earlier in the week. Here we go. I have put $100 on Sean Omalley by knockout. I got it at plus 190, but $100 on it to win 290 back. So my podcast play of the week is Sean Omalley by knockout. So yeah, that's how I feel. Let's go, Sugar Show. Let's get this knockout over Merab this weekend. And then just because I'm not going to be here for Change the Cheddar Friday, or at least I don't plan on being here for Change the Cheddar Friday, I'll leave y'all with one parlay that I do already have made. I'm sorry we don't have props for the whole card yet, but if I did, I would probably try to cook something up for y'all. But here's a 6-leg that I have bet. I put $10 on it to win $528 even. 6-leg parlay: Yasmin Jauregui moneyline, Ronaldo Rodriguez moneyline, Daniel Zellhuber 3 or decision, Diego Lopes moneyline, Alexa Grasso 4-5 or decision, and Sean Omalley knockout 1, 2, or 3. I bet that on FanDuel. It's plus 5,180, so 51 times your money back for the most part. $10 to win 528. So good luck to everyone betting fights. All the fights this weekend. I do have one more thing written down here that I'm waiting on props to open for. So once we do get props, I will be betting this. It is Raul Rosas via finish, so doesn't matter knockout or sub. Yasmin Jauregui 3 or decision. the Bahamondes versus Torres fight to go under 2.5 rounds or to not go the decision. Either one of those. The Osbourne versus Lazy Boy fight to go over 1.5 rounds, and you can currently get that at minus 195 on DraftKings. We got Daniel Zellhuber to win and over a round and a half, minus 150 on DK, and then Grasso over 2.5. That's plus 105 on DK, and then Sean Omalley moneyline minus 130. So I'm going to be putting that 7-leg in once I get some more props for the prelims this weekend. So once again, good luck to everyone betting on UFC 306. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose, and I've already bet more than I can afford to lose because I've already spent way too much money going to fucking Vegas this upcoming weekend. It's a lot of money to get there, but hopefully it's worth it, and hopefully it'll be a fantastic time. So, hopefully you guys enjoy the UFC 306 Sphere card on the TV, or if you're going, see if you can catch me out there. Say what's up, and we'll grab a picture and all of that. So, with that being said, one more time, I'm going to be giving out some UFC cards if you can catch me out there at the Sphere. And be doing a vlog and all that. Or keep an eye out for that early next week. But aside from that, that's going to be all from us. If you guys wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. And D-Rose, anything before we get out of here, man?
No, sir. We should be good. Good luck to you guys, and good luck to you on your trip, because I know it gets a little freaky out there in Las Vegas, and typically come back with some sort of COVID or something. So good luck while you're out there, and
hopefully
hope you enjoy the fights, man.
Hopefully I come back with about $10,000. How about that?
I was hopefully more, but let's shoot for at least 10.
All right, cool. At least 10 this weekend. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all stopping by here for tonight, hanging out with us. My name's Matt. D-Rose is on that side of the screen. And we'll catch you guys maybe Friday. Who knows? Not going to guarantee that. We'll leave it up in the air, but for sure, catch us back here live next Wednesday to recap this card and all that good shit. So with that being said, we'll catch you guys later. D-Rose, you ready for your little in-the-stream post? You missed it last week.
Yeah. Nah, we definitely got this thing.
With that being said, we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.